So one of my friends been making fun of my audio, saying that my shotgun mic is bad. So I'm gonna try this today. I don't got money to buy a new mic, and I don't like to use a lav mic. Speaking of money, I know exactly why you click on this video. You want to know what are the free way for photographer to make money. Well, before we start, let me introduce myself first. My name is Logan. I'm a full-time photographer and I just graduated from my university. So I always say the thing that you've been hearing is from a beginner photographer, and yes, I have experienced all these things as a photographer. So everything you've been hearing is based on my experience, and if you think I'm not correct, feel free to comment down below, educate me and educate other new freelance photographer. So the first way to make money as a photographer is being hired as a full-time photographer in a big company. So this is pretty straightforward. You basically work full-time for a company. So some pro for this is, I would say this is the most comfortable or like stable style compared to the other two methods, which I will talk about later on. This style is more traditional, so you get paid by salary. You work a maybe 9 to 5 job. You work all year long, no off season. They give the health benefit if you're like a big company, and you got holiday break, holiday pay. Basically a traditional job. The benefit sounds pretty good, huh? But the cons are really obvious as well. It's not that easy to find a position as a full-time photographer. Just disclaimer, I'm not saying there isn't a position for full-time photographer, but based on my experience, you have to do more than just a photographer. You need to add a little bit of twist to it. So I was actually working as a full-time photographer for my university when I was a student. Basically, I have all the benefit. I get regular 9 to 5 hours. I sometimes get to work from home, and whenever there's an event, I go take photo. And if there's no event, I can just chill and edit a photo. But I would say it's really relaxed. Probably don't need that 40 hours, and I can get all my stuff done. That's why I have to work more than just a photographer. My additional task for this is I was also a videographer. So not only I have to photograph events, sometimes I do video as well. Even though video is not my strong suit, but when I get assigned to do video project, I have to also do something like that. So, and I also have to be editor, for example, to edit like recap video, commercial. I actually did a commercial marketing campaign for my job when I was working there. Because that position is for student, now I'm graduate, I cannot work there anymore. But that's what a full-time lifestyle is like. And when I was doing job search, I realized a trend. There is no company, or not a lot of company, is hiring a full-time photographer. You always need to add a little bit of twist to it. So for example, I saw some job, they be like, I need you to be a full-time photographer, but you also need to have video editing, you need to know how to do social media, you know how to do marketing. That way they will give you like a full-time position. But I also seen some job for full-time photographer, but it's really rare. Like compared to other jobs, they might hire 2 or 3 people, but for this only 1. Because if you think about it, it's difficult to ask a photographer to work 40 hours, like, because there isn't enough tasks. Like I said, this is based on my job experience. Another great example to support my opinion is my boss. He graduated from a film major, but he's working not as a filmmaker. He's working basically what I'm doing, but he worked for like 2 different departments at the university, and he have to do photo, video editing, and a little bit more. I think like a lot of meeting, collaboration, planning should behind the scenes stuff. So he had to do a lot more thing in order to get that position. And my next supervisor, she know how to make video, but her main job is do marketing. And in fact, she actually have to go to another school to get a marketing certificate to get her position now. What I'm trying to say is you might need a little bit of extra twist to get that full-time position. But there's exception. So I know one of my friends, he worked for a famous YouTuber, and all he had to do is like focus on his videography skill, and he get like a full-time job from them. So it is possible, but I'm saying it's not as common to find. Or you can work for a medium company. So for example, in the wedding industry, I know there's a lot of big wedding company that hires photographer to shoot like photo and stuff. So I actually recently got hired by a local company, a wedding company, to shoot for them. So I wouldn't say this is a good enough full-time job for me to live on my own. I'm still really thankful though, but this is definitely a good starter for me to build my name and brand, which I will talk about it on the third method, the freelance method. And the second method is work with small studio, or like work with the creative circle. In the photography industry, a lot of people will group up with other to create something called the studio. Well, they call themselves studio, but honestly they only have like 2 to 3 people. So when they land on a big gig, a lot of the time they will ask me to help out, to like help them second shoot. So one good thing about this lifestyle is, number one, you don't have to deal with the client. You're shooting under somebody's name, so a lot of client issue, they will be able to handle it, and it can be pretty easy as well sometimes. So let's say they hire you to be a photographer and videographer. You finish your job, you just send it to them. Sometimes you don't even need to edit at all. If you really just want to do focus on your photography and videography, this is one method. You build your name out there so people hire you. I know in Facebook Marketplace, a lot of, maybe not Facebook Marketplace, on Facebook, a lot of people just like put their rate up and then show their portfolio, and people just hire them. So they work with many, rather than one big company, they work with the creative circle or many like studios. And in fact, the first 2 months of my photography career, I'm actually working with like maybe 2 to 3 studios. So whenever they need me, I'm there, and then I just make money off them, and it's nice. I don't need to worry about too many things, and I'll tell you what exactly I'm worried about in the next method. So third method of making money is what I'm doing right now, becoming a freelancer. Becoming a freelancer, I can tell you a lot of benefit, but I can also tell you a lot of consequences. So the first benefit is you're getting everything. When I mean everything, I'm literally talking about everything. First, income. Oftentimes you're working for a big company, small company, or other people, they will probably take over like 70% of the project income, and you're only getting 30% only. But working freelance, you get to get fully that. Second, let's say you are buying equipment, you're completely buying it yourself and you're making the best out of it. Let's say you're buying for other company, you're just buying it to work, do better job for them. But if you're buying for yourself, there's 2 benefits. One, you can write that as your tax deduction. So Adobe, the big one, your gas money, sometimes even food money. You can use all this money to deduct to make you pay less tax, which is one of the big things. Because working for a big company, I remember my paycheck, like a lot of them actually goes to tax and stuff. Of course, being a freelancer, they pay tax as well, but you also have method to deduct the tax. And lastly, your portfolio building. If you work for a company, a lot of time they will value people's privacy, like the client's privacy, or prevent you from working on your own. Some of them, not all of them. So they won't let you use their work that you did in a company as your own personal portfolio. So I'll be kind of upset sometimes because like technically I did the work, so why can I have my own credit? So I'm working for other people. If you're working freelance, you're working this for yourself. So yes, working freelancing, you own everything. Another good thing is you can control your lifestyle. So I know for wedding industry, I know a lot of them, they just work the whole summer, they shoot for the whole summer, and winter they can work wherever they want because all they gotta do is edit the photo. So it gives you the flexibility. So if you are someone who like to travel around, you have your laptop, you are at, I don't know, Las Vegas or something, and all you need is your laptop and you can work. But yeah, these are some good benefit, but like there's also a lot of consequences. So first thing first, it was really hard to get your first client because like becoming a freelance photographer, there's a lot more responsibility. You have to learn how to talk to clients, negotiate with clients. You need to learn about the business aspect of being a freelance photographer. And oftentimes when you start, you shoot a lot of free stuff. The reason behind it is because like as a new photographer, you don't know your value, you don't know your experience, and you don't have your portfolio. So if you want to know how to stop shooting for free, make sure you check out my video over here. Yeah, so you have to learn how to do the business aspect as well. And second thing is, that's what I'm facing right now as a beginner photographer, is off season. So I gave an example where people work in the summer and then winter, they just work anywhere they want. I'm not that level yet, so starting off it can be pretty scary. I know that my income and like event is less compared to the summer where everything is like easier. At least for wedding company, I know a lot more weddings happening in the summer than winter. Lastly is managing a client. I guess it kind of overlaps with my first point, but managing a client is pretty important because like if you treat them well and give them great experience, you have repetitive client. Keeping a relationship well is really difficult. Like you have to do well from pre-production, production, post-production. The whole experience have to be good, and it's really hard to get experience like this because you usually skip this part when you're working for company. So you have to learn this in a hard way. A lot of failure to build your confidence and build your way around with speaking with clients. So this is actually one of the biggest obstacles that stop a lot of people wanting to get in that freelance lifestyle. To sum it up, the free method can line up from left to right. From left being the most stable, the right being the less stable. So on the left, working for a company where it's stable, regular hours, and like you don't have to be stressed. You can mainly just focus on photography if you land it. But yeah, it's really stable. On the right, you have to manage client, manage business, manage photography. You have to step up your comfort zone and learn a lot of failure. In the middle, where you're gonna mixture of both, where you number one, get a company's name to cover you, so it's less responsibility and less stuff to deal with. But you also get to have that freelance lifestyle where you choose like how do you want to live and when do you want to work. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys like this video and you learned something out of it. I wish I knew these things and the lifestyle I can expect as a photographer when I was in elementary school. Because like I would say figuring out these style and I didn't know what I'm getting to can be pretty scary, because compared to like, you know, other job, I think our creative field can be pretty scary or like unpredicted sometimes, because we have so many possibility in our field compared to other, but because there's so many, you don't know which one is the best fit for you. So knowing like what to expect and what is some style, I think is easier to understand. So yeah, if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. I make a lot of video like this, and sometimes I post behind the scene of my work or like working vlog. So yeah, make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to follow me on social media as well. I post live update of what I'm doing as a photographer. So thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next one.